This is Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
It's the Morning Majlis.
It's the Morning Majlis.
Talking the stories that are shaping headlines, plus those that make you go,
Hi everybody, good morning. Welcome back to the Morning Majlis, the show where we talk about stories shaping the headlines. It's me, Ahmed Dawood, with Rania Saadi and Abdul Karim Hanif. And we have a lot of stories to discuss this morning from the region and around the world. And one of the bigger headlines in the news right now pertains to Trump's tax status. Some serious allegations about possible tax avoidance. We'll talk about how this is set to shake up the U.S. presidential election, how Trump himself has responded. They're saying that he only paid $750 in income tax between the years 2016 and 2017 as well. So we're going to get into how that works exactly and what it means and if it should have an effect on the United States presidential election.
Today is September 29th, and we are celebrating a special day today as well, and that is World Heart Day. World Heart Day informs people around the globe that cardiovascular disease, including heart disease and stroke, is the world's leading cause of death, claiming about 18 million lives each year. And that highlights also the action that individuals can take to prevent and control cardiovascular disease. So in line with that, the Little Hearts campaign, which is one of the most important medical campaigns carried out by the Sharjah Charity International, has conducted and done thousands of heart surgeries in line with that. So we will discuss that further and talk about World Heart Day.
Certainly something to look forward to and something worth talking about. We've also got new updates for a lot of people who do get confused about Abu Dhabi's new entry requirements. I recently got a COVID-19 test done and it came back negative, luckily. My first thought was not that I'm safe. I just felt like I have a license to go to Abu Dhabi. I actually felt like that. And I was like, should I go to Abu Dhabi today? Now that I've got my result and it says expires in 2 days. So I thought, yes, I could plan a trip to the nation's capital. We were talking about the nation's capital yesterday, and I haven't seen it in a year. I'd say it's almost a year now.
Me too.
I haven't been to Abu Dhabi, so
to come think about it, yeah, me too.
Yeah, because you get scared by the new regulations. You think, it's so much of a hassle. Well,
right.
we'll break it down for you whilst you're driving and commuting in and around the nation. And a shout out to all of you who are all the way in Abu Dhabi as well, and always tune in to Pulse 95 every morning. We do miss you. We will be hopefully be coming over to the nation's capital very, very soon as well. Well, stay tuned to Pulse 95. We'll be right back. But before we do anything, I'd like to play a little bit of a quiz again.
All right.
Because at this hour, we don't do traffic updates. And looking at the roads this morning, E311, once again, very, very busy. 15-minute delay. Where in the world can you find another Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed road that is also not as busy as E311?
Ooh. Not as busy?
Not as busy, definitely not as busy. But which country has Mohammed or Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan road?
I know there's Sheikh Zayed in Egypt, but I don't think that's a road. That's like a city. Like an area.
Egypt is a good pick, though. That would make sense to me.
Yeah, 4215 if you know the answer. Text lines remain open and let us know if you know the answer. And if you want a big hint, stay tuned to Pulse 95 Radio's Instagram account because I'll be giving that hint very, very shortly. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. This is the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95. Between local lines. Notes from the Emirate.
Yes, notes from Sharjah. The Sharjah Research Technology and Innovation Park organized a summit, the inaugural MENA Innovation Technology Transfer Summit, that is, to shed light on the Mars exploration and other interplanetary space explorations. And this summit also participated by the world's leading scientists and engineers. Dr. James Green, Chief Scientist at National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA headquarters, said, finds life on Mars will be revolutionary and will start a whole new line of thinking. He noted that Mars has water millions or billions of years ago, and in the present, in underground aquifers and also frozen glaciers. Life in Mars could have started there, he said, and added that NASA, which will land on the red planet in February 2021, may find potential evidence of past life on Mars.
Yeah, really captures your imagination, the prospect of life on Mars, of human colonization of the planet. Now, James Green, who's been NASA's chief scientist since 2018, has said that there's promising indication of life on Mars.
Yeah.
He said that every summer, the planet gets gassy, with the amount of methane gas present at the surface increasing dramatically. He said that is an indication of life on the planet. The Curiosity rover on Mars also detected molecular oxygen, which increases each spring and summer by up to 30% before dropping again in the fall. Green says, quote, that tells us life may be underground during the summer, the soils heat and therefore loosen up such that the methane can leak out. We have all kinds of circumstantial observations that perhaps Mars has microbial life too. Now, Chief Technology Officer at NASA headquarters, Dr. Douglas Terrier, also spoke about his leadership role at NASA, including the development of spacecraft for NASA's Human Exploration Program, and revealed this week the latest plan for NASA to return astronauts, including the first woman to the moon in 2024. But yes, always exciting to see Sharjah Research, Technology and Innovation Park regularly host these online discussions with the world's leading experts and scientists on a number of interesting and compelling topics.
But it was also a forum to celebrate the United Arab Emirates' achievements as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We had Umran Sharaf, who's the project manager of the Emirates Mars mission that sent the Hope probe into space to explore the Martian atmosphere, and also talking about inspiring the youth. For a lot of people in this part of the world, it seemed like a distant future or a distant aspect to even think about that they could be astronauts, but or even think about that they are eligible to go to space. That has been realized, and that's very, very important. And now we also stand very proudly and are able to host such a summit where we talk to international experts, international scientists, saying that, look, we've got our own achievements as well. So, this is what we're going to have something to say. It was a very, very important discussion, and a lot of it surfaced around going to space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the big part of the discussion as well was developing the capabilities of young people in the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
When you see something, for instance, like the Hope probe, which is a realization of the UAE's vision for the future, the first probe ever to take a detailed observation of Mars's atmosphere. That's a major scientific contribution, and the journey to that, the pathway to get that Hope probe up and running, involved the education of a lot of Emirati youth, engineers and scientists as well. So it's a technological leap for a country as a whole. And the discussions within this seminar noted that young people are becoming more motivated here. They enrich themselves and get a larger perspective and dream bigger about life and what they can accomplish. And they said space exploration will give the youth ideas to ponder on, and that is why it's important to pursue interplanetary missions, including going to Mars.
Including going to Mars for sure, indeed. Let us know on the text lines 4215 about how you feel about the nation now going into space, celebrating space, talking space as well, and would love to hear your thoughts. And the big question about the planet Earth that we've also asked you is, where in the world can you find a Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan road? Very, very big motorway, but also it's not that busy as the E311. I know if you're commuting down E311, you're thinking, oh my God, it's very slow moving today. Well, luckily, if you were in that country that has the Mohammed bin Zayed road, it won't be as busy as it is here. Well, let us know on the text lines 4215. We'll be right back and continuing the discussions right here on the Morning Majlis. Up next, we break it down for you. If you were planning to go to Abu Dhabi, or if you are planning to go to Abu Dhabi, what can you do? What should you do? All this will be discussed right here on the Morning Majlis.
Join Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis, Pulse 95.
Have you filed your taxes, Rania? Do you pay tax?
I'm not an American.
You're not American, you don't pay tax. I don't pay tax anywhere so far. I don't think I'm obliged to. Ahmed Dawood, do you pay taxes?
Thankfully, no.
I pay my VAT.
We do. We all do.
Yeah, I do pay my VAT.
But no income tax.
I do pay my knowledge fee. Don't forget that. But speaking about the world of income taxes.
Yeah.
Donald Trump has paid very, very less amount, a lot less than you would expect.
A lot less.
Okay, so what's the
For
situation?
sure, yeah. He paid just $750 in federal income tax both in
Wow.
2016, the year that he ran for the U.S. presidency, and in his first year in the White House as well. And yeah, there's a newspaper, the New York Times, they said that it obtained tax records for Trump and his companies over 2 decades. Also says that he paid no income taxes at all in the 10 of the previous 15 years. And those records also reveal chronic losses and years of tax avoidance. But Trump, he replied, he said the report is just fake news.
Yeah, he did. And looking at the key claims here made by the New York Times, they said they reviewed tax returns relating to President Trump and companies owned by the Trump Organization dating back to the 1990s, as well as his personal returns for 2016 and 2017. And they said they found that the president paid just $750 in income taxes in both 2016 and 2017, while he paid no income taxes at all in 10 of the previous 15 years as well, quote, largely because he reported losing much more money than he made. And before becoming president, Trump was known as a celebrity businessman and property mogul, building an image of a hugely successful self-made billionaire. But observers say these claims could be dented by the latest revelations. And it sparked some outrage on social media, people saying, how could a billionaire not pay his taxes? And the question on how he did it in particular is one that is complex. We should probably get someone who with a thorough knowledge of American taxation on the show. But what experts say is what we might be seeing here is some very aggressive tax planning at work, some very good lawyers, smart certified public accountants, and a messy tax code all working in Donald Trump's favor. One way he might have avoided paying taxes was with net operating losses. He had racked close to $1 billion in losses back in the early 90s and used that to save on taxes until 2005, according to the New York Times. So declaring major losses as well would make you tax exempt in the United States. That's a way of simplifying it as well. And there are other reasons as well, but we're not going to get into that because it's too technical. But it's definitely possible.
I'm looking at the figures, trying to calculate things. Interesting fact for all of you. How much does a U.S. president make? What is his salary?
400K?
400.
Yeah, we knew this.
$122,000 dirhams a month. That's his salary.
Yeah.
I want to be president of the United States now. That's a good salary to take back.
I think for Trump, though,
I think they could do better.
They could do better.
Yeah.
for Trump, it's a chunk of change.
Yeah, it's nothing.
$122,000. Imagine how many nights of stay I can get from the El Bait Hotel.
Do you know how many Trump towers he has?
The
Like
Mar-a-Lago.
7?
Have you seen the Mar-a-Lago?
Like 7 or something.
No, but like this is the state salary for the president, which he also claims he doesn't even take. He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it.
He donates it all. And he says, I donated my salary.
Or invest in it.
$122,000.
He probably
If
invest in
someone
it.
interviewed me for a job that pays $120,000, I'd be so committed to it. I'd say I'd work 12 hours a day, no problem. 14 hours, 16 hours,
Yeah.
give me whatever you want. Plus, that's not it. You also get a 15,304 dirham allowance, general expenses.
I like how he converted it to dirhams.
Yeah, it's
right?
for everyday listeners to understand. 15,000 dirhams,
Yeah.
just expenses.
Wow.
This is extra expenses that you want. This is your allowance to do whatever you feel like doing. If you felt like buying new shoes for a specific meeting, you have 15,000 dirhams just for those expenses. So incredible. Wow. No wonder everyone likes to be president these days. But
These days.
but yeah, that's the pay at the moment for a United States or president of the United States. For a lot of people, it'd be quite a decent amount of money. But I can understand for Donald Trump, given the amount of income tax he's also claimed that he's obliged to pay. It doesn't really matter to him at all.
I know a TV presenter here in the UAE makes 200K.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
So
Don't
she
know.
makes
Yeah.
more than, or she makes more than the U.S. president, I guess,
Oh,
per
she's-
month.
She's richer than the president.
200,000 dirhams per month,
Oh, well.
Yeah, it'll-
allegedly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a claim. It's a claim.
It's
allegedly,
probably,
yes. Yeah, speaking of allegedly as well, is I'm looking more into the report as well, and does not provide any evidence of nefarious connections to any criminal organizations or shady figures. It does, however, according to observers, show that Trump's financial empire might just be built on sand, hemorrhaging money, hundreds of millions of dollars in debt, and paying almost nothing in federal taxes as a consequence. So there might be an effect on his image at large, and yet another distraction for President Donald Trump. So it'll be interesting to see how this affects his campaign. But Trump has survived so much in terms of explosive reports, leaked audio recordings, possible scandals as well. So whether or not that dents his base is a big question here. Trump has called those reports fake news, and we'll have to see how this develops further.
I have a feeling he uses this monthly expense to fund his production agency. If you look at YouTube account of White House, every few hours is a new video on Trump. He's definitely using that $15,000 allowance that he's got. Definitely is. Well, we'll have to investigate that further if someone is out there who can do so. For the time being, it's a little bit of a mash-up to keep you entertained on the Morning Majlis this morning. Stay with us. This is Pulse 95, and we will be right back after some musical entertainment.
Pulse 95. Between local lines. Notes from the Emirate.
Yes, notes from the Emirates. Back in 1999, the World Heart Federation, in conjunction with the World Health Organization, they announced the establishment of World Heart Day, and it lies today.
Yes.
September 29th. And World Heart Day really informs people around the globe that cardiovascular disease, including heart disease and stroke, is the world's leading cause of death, claiming about 18 million lives each year. And also highlights the actions that individuals can take to prevent and also control cardiovascular disease. And in line with that, here from Sharjah, the Little Hearts campaign, which is one of the most important medical campaigns carried out by the Sharjah Charity International, has conducted thousands of heart surgeries.
Indeed, Rania, and this is in line with the humanitarian efforts conducted by the Sharjah Charity International. It's called the Little Hearts Campaign, one of the most important medical campaigns carried out by the organization, and they've been increasing the number of surgical operations since 2009, and until this year, they've reached about 1,174 surgeries, according to a report issued by Sharjah Charity International on World Heart Day. The campaign is headed by Dr. Ahmed Al-Kamali, pediatric heart consultant, and launched by Sharjah Charity International, has reached several countries that are taking part in Sharjah Charity International's humanitarian projects. And definitely a major initiative as well, and in line with Sharjah Charity International's missions abroad in countries that have been struggling with reaching their various basic medical necessities.
Yep, and it's all in line with the World Heart Day as well, and very, very incredible initiative by the Sharjah Charity International. It's all about the Little Hearts campaign, launched with the aim to provide care for children with heart diseases, and it really is an important field where the governments have been focusing in greater detail with as well. And humanitarianism, it's very, very important here in the Emirate of Sharjah, as well as the Big Heart Foundation and the incredible work they do. Well, Morning Majlis shall take a bit of a break now. We will be heading off for the news headlines, and we shall return right after that and continuing.
Quiz game. The quiz
Question.
question.
There's two things that I want to talk about. There's the quiz question, and there's also the salaries.
Salaries?
Yeah, $400,000 for American president. I've been researching the other guys. The question that we're asking you this morning is, where in the world can you find, and there's another one that's been launched recently, another Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan road. In which country can you find it? If you want the hint, it is on the text lines if you want to answer that, text lines 4215 is where you can. Write your name at the end of the message, because we've got lots of messages coming in this morning. And if you would like to know a hint, Pulse 95 Radio's Instagram account is where you can find it, because we've just done a story to talk about it. So let us know. Text
And
lines.
who is the highest paid president in the world?
I don't know.
That could be a question.
Is it the president of the United States?
I don't know.
Could be a lot of countries, because there's a lot of countries that have royal.
He makes the list, but he's not number one, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, another interesting fact I found is the United Kingdom is half of the US president, is $215,000 a year.
Oh.
$400,000, or almost just over a bit of half, of $215,000 a year for the UK Prime Minister, but $400,000 a year for the US President. Incredible. Yeah. Well, that's a little fact for you. Stay with us on the Morning Majlis. We'll be talking about this in greater detail later on. And yes, if you know the answers to our quiz questions, let us know on the text lines 4215. We'll be back right after the news headlines. This is the Morning Majlis with myself, Abdul Karim Hanif, Ahmed Dawood, and Rani Saadi, broadcasting every weekday, 7 until 10 a.m. on Pulse 95.
Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis. Pulse 95.
Yeah, you can join the conversation with the Morning Majlis. Text lines remain open 4215. And yes, we've asked you this important question about where else can you find the Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan road in another country apart from the UAE. Recently opened as well. Well, speaking about cooperation, speaking about partnerships, speaking about international developments, Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry is eyeing a partnership with Romania.
Yeah, they actually received a Romanian delegation as part of the efforts to enhance the bilateral economic relations and also boost trade exchange, develop the relations between business communities in both countries, and also to examine the possibility of holding joint economic activities to introduce investment opportunities available on both sides. And this meeting that was attended by His Excellency Abdullah Sultan Al-Uwais, chairman of the SCCI, also Nicoleta Teodorovici, Consul General of Romania in Dubai and also in the Northern Emirates, and also the Economic Secretary, and also Fatima Al-Muqarrab, Director of International Relations Department. They were all, they all attended this meeting. And while welcoming the visiting delegation, Abdullah Sultan Al-Uwais underlined that this meeting constitutes a perfect opportunity for exchanging views and also experiences about post-COVID-19 economic strategies and plans, and also enhancing bilateral cooperation between Sharjah and Romania.
Yes, indeed. And Al-Uwais also spoke about the attractive investment opportunities here in the Emirate of Sharjah, namely in Sharjah's modern infrastructure, logistics services, flexible legislation, and its strategic location as well. And in turn, Nicoleta stressed the importance of the meeting in strengthening commercial and investment activities between Sharjah and Romania, as well as both countries are gradually returning to their economic and commercial lives.
Yes, of course, and it's very important how these joint partnerships continue to be viewed as a significant step in building those cultural connections, economic connections as well, and really showcases Sharjah's attractive investment advantages, particularly due to its modern infrastructure, logistics services, flexible legislation, and also a strategic location as well. the chairman of the Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry, appreciated the invitation to attend the upcoming forum. He also said that such events, especially the one that will be organized in Romania on the 6th of October, represents an ideal platform for SCCI members and businessmen to meet their Romanian counterparts and establish those multiple investment partnerships. Well, stay with us on the Morning Majlis. We shall return right after the business news headlines, and we'll continue the discussions here on the Morning Majlis. So stay with us. We'll be right back. If you'd like to send us your thoughts and messages, text lines remain open 4215.
Pulse 95. You're listening to Pulse 95. Pulse 95.
It's Pulse 95.